A recent SBI report deduces that the Indian rupee may depreciate 8 to 10% during Trump's second presidency, and as a result, this will make the Indian currency value to depart to the $90 per rupee mark very soon. This has come at a time when the rupee has been departed to an all-time low of 84.40. This is the value of the Indian rupee while at the recording of this video. And when we ask why the Indian rupee value is falling, the answer we get is,
first of all, I would look at it as not rupee sliding, I will look at it as dollar strengthening incessantly.
but let us go beyond that, right? Let us understand why rupee value is falling and dollar value is strengthening. Well, what is opposite of decrease or decrement? It's increase or increment, right? So what should India do in order to increase its rupee value? It is simple. It has to become a trade surplus country and stop being a trade deficit country. Wait, what are these new terms, trade surplus and trade deficit? Let us know them. Now, what is this trade surplus? The amount by which the value of a country's exports exceeds the cost of its imports is your trade surplus. And trade deficit? A trade deficit occurs when a country imports more goods and services than it exports. You can say that a trade deficit is a negation of trade surplus. The trade deficit is an absolute hassle because it eventually leads to inflation in the long term. Well, what's the country that has its trade surplus over its trade deficit by large? The answer is China. China does this better than anyone else, right? And there is no better or more apt country to compare what India's potential could be with China's contemporary reality. Again, what India's potential could be with China's contemporary reality. This year, China is on a roll to hit a record of $1 trillion trade surplus as Donald Trump returns to power. And as a matter of fact, China is number one when it comes to exporting services and goods, creating their dominance throughout the world. And India barely comes in the top 10. Now let us move to the trade deficit part. India has a trade deficit of $78 billion in the fiscal year of 2024, which has been quite reduced from 2023, which had around $121 billion. Now this trade deficit, this very trade deficit has to be transformed into trade surplus. There is a major benefit to India and its exports by Trump coming into power. Starting with the tariffs. A tariff is basically a tax being imposed by one country on the goods and services being imported from another country. The tariffs proposed by Donald Trump for China especially is 60%, and countries like India come under the universal tariff, which is just around 10%. This is a game changer because this will put China's trade surplus of $1 trillion, which it is approaching, in a complete backlog. If you look over the previous terms of the US presidents that have come into power, the depreciation value of rupee has been very much higher when it comes to the presidency of people like Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and has been comparatively lower in Donald Trump's first term. And that is what the trend may be even in his second term. If we truly understand the circumstance that is leading to this whole Pandora of India's rupee value decreasing and dollar value increasing, for India is India itself. Let me state this in a better way. The thing is, India is being held in such an incomprehensive situation due to us. We are not exporting value out of India, we are just consuming value, and that is creating a trade deficit, an extreme trade deficit, which if not controlled, it will be very difficult for India to break it or even break even. So simply put, the solution forward is to make India's trade surplus take over trade deficit. Let us know how we can go for that. We can make India a trade surplus country by exporting more than importing. One of the possible ways would be by making Russia one of our most favorable destinations for exporting our services. In order to do that, we must shape the image of our country, enhance the quality of our products. That is because word of mouth plays a big part here. There is a strong possibility of India-Russia bilateral trade attending the $100 billion target by 2030, as stated by the External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Drastically, India needs to cut down its imports from China and switch to made in India products. This will help us to deal and cut down the trade deficit of $78 billion which India currently possesses. If we get into a premeditated mindset of buying and pushing for products of Indian origin, or at least buy products that are manufactured in India, it will not just impact the rupee value, it will transform India into a bigger and better manufacturing hub. There is also another case that we can consider here. If we are able to transmute and go abroad and sell our Indian products there, this may be possibly the highest value possible, highest way possible in order to boost our Indian economy. And about the report, the SBI report mentioned in the beginning, it said that the fear of the rupee undergoing a sharp depreciation has no basis, as the range of depreciation would be small and the average exchange rate would be somewhere between rupees 87 to rupees 92. Comparatively, Trump's second term from 2025 to 2029 will have lesser depreciation compared to Biden and the other US governments that came before, as previously stated in this video. But this is not something to sweep away. From having discussions to $1, 1 rupee, $1, 50 rupees, we are marching towards $1, 90 rupees and $1, 100 rupees. See, the thing is, along with robust, effective implementation of policies by the government, the common public needs to be part of the solution. So I ask all of you to actually be part of the solution, vouching for Made in India products and Made in India enterprises. Because leveling up India is not a one-man show or a one-woman show or a one-human show. It is a teamwork together for better future.